Hey, Laura. Hey, hey, hey. Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. As you're hopping on, just drop in the chat where you're from. I always like to know where people are from. That's always fun to see. Put out whatever reminders you have if you're in a team chat, a team group page, whatever it's at. Hi, Alyssa. South Carolina. I assume, see how I call you Alyssa? I assume your name is pronounced Alyssa, like mine should be, but it's not. So there's that. Wrong.
Wrong.
Wrong. It should be anything close.
Nice shirt, Elisa.
Thanks. You know how I like to cut the things out? I was thinking about, remember when I cut the sweater way too big? I misjudged that one.
And then that was like, we couldn't find, we ever find one? Because I remember we were looking for that size.
I needed a medium, and there was one medium that you found, and I cut it a little too big. It was no sweater at all, actually. It was more like I don't know what it was, but
It's my new background.
It didn't keep me warm. It didn't keep me warm. Oh, I like it. You're so fancy. I don't know how to do that. I mean, I know it. You have to be on your phone, right?
Nope, I'm purposely on a desktop so I can do it. All right, let me teach you. Are you on your desktop?
Yeah.
Okay, bottom left. You see where it's like mute, stop video, and there's like a little up arrow in the video. Hit the up arrow, and then it says choose virtual background.
Oh, look, y'all are getting a little extra. Wait, no, mine doesn't say that. And mine doesn't say that.
What's the up arrow? Set camera, right? And then it's video settings.
No, it says select microphone. No, it says select a microphone, same as system, built-in microphone, select a speaker, test speaker. Let me press the other.
Oh, that's over the microphone. Do the up arrow on the video.
Okay, I see it. Duh. Okay, yeah, now I see it. Okay.
So you do choose virtual background.
Okay.
And then there's a bunch of default ones, and then you can literally get any image you want. And okay. So I just like.
Later. But in the meantime, I think I'm gonna go here. No, you can't see.
Yeah, oh, wow, you're like half.
It looks like that. What?
So it almost worked for you.
Is it broken? Look, why is it like that? I better go with none.
I wonder if it's because your background and your shirt are such close. Well, I don't know. Because only your wall is kind of close to the same as your shirt.
That was weird. Well, I'm glad I know how to do it now.
So my background, so you guys know, I have a loft in my house. It's like the guest bedroom, and it's become my office.
Oh,
and there's a triple bunk in there. So sleep over at my house if anybody wants to come over.
He's got lots of room.
We'll just bunk it up.
All right, y'all, as you're jumping on, just drop in the chat where you're from. I always like to see where everyone is from. Go send out your reminders if you're in a group chat. Oh, Alyssa's is pronounced the same way. She's an Elisa too. Send out reminders, group chats, group pages, and we'll get started in about 1 minute because we have Dean as our guest and we want to stay on track. We want to act right because Dean's here.
So are we saying where we live right now, or are we saying where we grew up, or are we saying where we're born?
Where you're presently at, Dean.
Okay.
Where are you present?
I'm in Utah.
Well,
Sandy, Utah.
I knew that. And for those who don't know, I'm in Florida.
Heyo.
There's a lot of Floridians on tonight.
They opened the beaches back up yet?
Yeah, I was at the beach for a week last week in Panama City. So it was nice.
I have a friend that lives in Orange County, and he sent me a picture today. He said that they're starting to open up the beaches there too. So.
They were going to go. Yeah, some places we opened ours up. Different counties had to stay longer, and things like that. So anyhow, all right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get started, guys. I know people will be jumping on and joining us in a little bit, but it is 8 o'clock. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Well, 8 o'clock for me. So, and y'all know it's close to my bedtime. That's why I already like taking my shower. I'm ready for bed. Like it's late here. So it's 8, it's late. So I figured I would ask Dean to be on today because obviously we've had some huge changes this week, some huge, super exciting changes. I'm sure most of you have seen or heard or been part of the videos and kind of seen all the information that's going around. But I wanted to have Dean on because he does have a little bit of insight. And I just kind of figured it would be fun to get a little bit of the backstory. I know a little bit about it, but to hear it come from Dean and kind of like what steps have looked like and some feedback. And I have some questions. I'm going to go over some specific things because it's been a lot of information at one time, you guys. So a lot of great changes, but a lot. So let's talk about kind of where this idea came from, Dean. Like why did we decide to do this? And I know Scott did the video, but just kind of your perspective, like, and how it's kind of come along and developed and turned into what Truvi is now.
All right. Yeah. So it's honestly, gosh, for as long as I can remember, Lisa, you might even remember. I mean, we've always talked about like, True Vision Health is a really long name, and some people think it's a hospital, some people think it's an eye company. Those are probably the two biggest ones that you get, usually the eye company. And then it's like when you're telling people, you're like, go to True Vision Health, but it's true without an E. So it was just a little bit harder in that respect. Not necessarily a deal breaker by any means. As you know, we've had consistent growth in the last 6 years, but it's something that we've talked about, gosh, on and off for a long time. And if you watch Scott's video, you'll know that, we've kind of casually gotten feedback from people over the years. And it's funny because obviously there's a few people that have known about it before we did some video takes. The earliest would have been a couple of months ago, and we did some of those video shoots with some of the before and afters with like the True Transformation winners. And, we had to have them sign NDAs, and Elise has known about it for a while as well, because we told the 7 and 8 6-stars for a little early to get some feedback from them as well. But a lot of people were like, wow, it's a lot catchier, it's a lot smaller. I don't have to be like, one person I even remember even had mentioned, they were like, I feel like when I say True Vision Health, I get very formal. Whereas if I say Truvy, it's a lot more casual and it's a lot easier to bring up in conversation. And so it's just kind of been an idea that we've been kicking around for a while, but the problem is we didn't want to do it unless we landed on something that we really liked. Because you don't just change a name just to change a name just for those reasons. But that's why it was a conversation for, gosh, probably a couple of years before we found something. It was always something like, let's update the logo, let's update the name. We don't like any of it, so we just never did it. And then we got serious about it when we were like, we have the resources now, enough feedback that people would like to do something like that, that let's look for something that will really work. And then our original idea was actually True Health, was just to take the vision out. But unfortunately, that's actually a company's name. So then we got to really brainstorming. We're like, well, that's still kind of long, actually. So let's try to find something. A lot of companies will use names that don't really mean anything, because people ask them, what does that mean? And so that's kind of where we landed with Truby. But one of the biggest pieces was we wanted to keep True, the TRU, as part of the name, because that's kind of the piece that kind of seems like everyone is attached to. There's a lot of Facebook groups that are like it. Even this is Tru Power Hour. True is kind of like the building block that everyone uses for almost everything. And so we wanted to find something that worked well with True. And then, over probably several months of time. We Truvy was one. We had a lot that we had, and you're always kind of like, I kind of like it, I kind of don't. But Truvy was the one that kept coming back that everyone kind of liked. They're like, I can work with this. Like, we can make a fun, exciting brand with this name and still stick with our roots. So that's how we came up with Truvy.
Yeah,
Kind of rambled on there, Lisa, but
no, I think that was good insight. And like I said, I think Scott did a great job kind of describing it too. So if you all haven't seen Scott's video, I would recommend that. He's basically a creative genius. Like, I was so excited to have Scott come on board and just, I mean, like, his mind is like no other mind I've ever met in my entire life. So I was super excited to have him come on board and just kind of, add his touches, like kind of make what you guys had into a reality, I guess, kind of what Scott helps do.
one thing about Scott too, I was gonna say, Lisa. So Lisa knows Scott. Scott Dastrup, who's on that video, who's now our creative director. He's actually helped us since the beginning, here and there on the side, because he had another job with another Purple Mattress. Actually, is was his main job, who you might have seen ads for. But he would help us with video. So Lisa, you knew him, and he would kind of give us creative ideas in the past, but we never really had full access to him. But one thing that Scott has done over the years is he's worked with a lot of startups and taken them from $0 to multi-million-dollar companies just by making their brand exciting. And Purple is one of those brands. That's a national brand now, mattress brand, where it used to be nothing. And there are several other companies he's done that with. And so we were really excited that
no other. So I think we were all super excited to get Scott all to ourselves. And I'm sure most people, if you've been with Truvy for a while, you've noticed kind of like his flair. I think he has like his own little touch that he adds to things. His, like I said, his mind is just, we were literally playing like a family game. And it was like, one of the questions was, who's the funniest person you know? And my answer was literally Scott. Like he just makes me laugh like no one in my entire life. Like, I just can't even describe it to anyone. And I don't even think he thinks he's funny. I don't know if you've noticed that. Like,
it's just Scott.
He's just himself. So anyhow, I was super excited to have Scott come on board. And obviously we love him. And I love, how everything is rolled out. We're seeing positive changes on all aspects. And then obviously, let's talk a little bit about the product. We know that that's not necessarily your department. You're not like, product king or anything like that. But I just want to point out to people, if you're not in the Truvy Biz Builders page, you should be, okay? That's where corporate does their lives. That's where the information is put out. That's where the fact sheet is. There's so much valuable content in there, and there's not like a lot of mumbo jumbo. Like, it's really just stuff that you need to know. So if you're not in the Truvy Biz Builders page, you should be. Okay, there's like just such great videos and content, and Derek does suggestions, and it's really a great group run by corporate. So if you want to take your business to the next level, you want to stay on top of things, you want to know what's going on, you guys need to get in there and follow along with it. If there is one group page that you are like, okay, this is where I'm going to go and find my content, it needs to be the corporate page, because that's valuable information. Watch the videos, spend some time in there, educate yourselves, because they did videos all week, all day yesterday. I know Dave went on and did some. I know Derek went on and did some. You guys do that regularly. So if you have not gone in there and educated yourself on these changes, I need you guys to do that. Your upline, your sponsor, we can help, but it's your responsibility as an independent rep to get in there and take in that knowledge yourself. So please take the time. I see people asking questions that have been answered a million times, or you can simply try to figure it out yourself. Okay, guys? So we're here to help you, but please use the tools that you've been given. That's super important, because as an upline, we spend the day answering the same questions over and over. Whereas if you would just go watch the video and take 2 minutes out of your time, it would make everyone's life so much easier, and you will educate yourself. You are an independent rep, and it is your responsibility to take care of your business. Okay, guys, we're here to help, but can you imagine what our phones were like the last couple of days? And I can even speak on Dean's behalf. Like, we have to self-educate a lot, and the content is there. So please take some time. Again, Truvy Biz Builders page. Everything you need to know about this launch is there. So we're just doing a refresher course here. I asked Dean to hop on. It was my power hour. So we are going to give some good content, but I need you guys to be aware in that group page. Okay. Sorry to go off on that, but that was a whole nother chapter. But let's talk a little bit about the product. So not only did we get a new name, with that, we got some new products. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yes, real quick, I'm going to add 3 sentences to what you said, just so everyone kind of understands our strategy as far as where we post. The Facebook page is really geared at your customers, and it's kind of stuff that we give to you that you can take and pull it, use those graphics and reshare them. We generally don't put a lot of we're trying to not put a lot of associate geared, the bulk of people, which is people that are just using the product. Am I back? It says I was unstable. Okay. And so to get into that group, you just need to do, I believe it asks you what your associate number is before you get in there. It is a private group because a lot of that stuff, it's training material for you guys as sales reps essentially. And so a lot of that stuff is private. But anyways, moving on about the product, Tru and V. So we thought it would be cool to have a product combo that would be just like the name of the company. So you could be like, I'm taking my Tru V, because people all the time already say I'm taking Tru. So we kind of geared these, we kind of did that play for the launch specifically off that name. But so the Tru, real quick on the Tru is essentially the same thing as TrueFix, but better. Has 100% more of the it's the green coffee bean extract. It's what comes out of that. I think it's chlorogenic acid. If that's right, Elisa. It's one of the main actives in TrueFix. That's one of the powerhouses. So it's almost double. And it is double of that ingredient. So it's TrueFix, but stronger. It's essentially what the TrueFix drink was, or it still is. I mean, because the drink's still there. As you guys know, the drink is more potent, has more of it in it. It's that in a pill format. So it's TrueFix on steroids, essentially.
Right.
Yeah. So it's, and so it's going to be a stronger version of TrueFix. And I think our long-term goal is probably to transition. Frankly, would be, and we haven't discussed when, but I think we would probably eventually just make Tru become TrueFix. So because I mean, there's no real reason to have both of them there, and you need to explain them. But for now, obviously, we still have both. But I personally have a hunch that it's not official. This is just between me. Yeah. We're all talking as friends here.
Yeah, no one freak out. This is not all weird.
Yeah,
this is like,
I would just foresee Tru taking over for TrueFix, because since they are the same thing and it's a stronger version of the same capsule, I would guess that would be the direction we would go. Now V, on the other hand, is another version of what Tru Control would be. So it's like the stimulant that helps you with your metabolism, and it is a completely different type of ingredient deck than Tru Control. And the reason, as you know, through the years we've done that is stimulants one thing you want in a weight loss pill is a stimulant, because it does help boost the metabolism, which gets your system going a little bit more, which makes you A, more active, and B, burns more calories for you. The problem with stimulants is everybody reacts differently to stimulants. And so most weight loss capsules in general won't use caffeine very much, because your body is already so used to caffeine that it doesn't really do much for you. And so every company is always looking for a safe stimulant that you can use in your life, that obviously you need to feel it, but they don't want to make you jittery, but they need to make you boost your metabolism. And so it's always that battle of finding a stimulant that will work that way. And so, you know, the scientists that do all that kind of stuff, they're constantly looking for something that's good, that will work. And Tru Control has what we know as octatrine. I'm sure all of you guys are fairly aware of that. And so this new one has something that's called Ralstein, and it's one of the newer stimulants on the market that is getting a lot of great reviews from a lot of other companies and the scientific community. And so it's a different ingredient completely. It's not in the same family as octatrine, and what that means is, for example, if you find a stimulant that's very similarly, the chemical makeup is similar to another one, your body tends to react the same, where it gets used to too much of that same thing, and so it kind of becomes less and less effective. And so what's nice about this one is, because it's completely different than Tru Control, your body won't have been used to ralston at all, because we've never used anything in that same scientific molecule family, if that makes sense. So it's a completely different type of stimulant. And so a lot of great reviews from a lot of the, like I said, a lot of the scientific community and the supplement community as far as something to help with that.
And then like
Does that help answer that, Elisa?
Yeah, and then the product samplers, obviously, I heard Derek say today, and I could be wrong on our 5-star and up call. I heard him say, I think, and don't quote me, that he's lost 8 pounds.
Yes,
So
he started
I think
taking
he's
it.
having really good success.
And I just stole a
I don't
bunch from
know
the office today. So
I don't think you're stealing, Dean. I think you're allowed to take it. And can you
yeah,
spell
but
the stimulant, Dean? Because I don't know if I can spell it.
Ralston.
I want to get.
Let's see if I know we posted the ingredient deck on the website.
Yeah, I just shared it in the chat.
Okay, Ashley shared it in the chat how to spell it.
Okay,
Ashley,
cool.
because I'm like, spelling is not my specialty. So there's that.
So it's gonna have
list.
Yeah, it's a totally different type of stimulant. So everyone's, body should react differently. Some people like to say, is this a plateau buster? And what's funny about that is any product can be a plateau buster if your body's not used to it. So it's not technically intended as that, but if you are on a plateau, because it's such a different one, it would do that for you because it's so different.
And I'm seeing this question a lot in the chat, and I think I know the answer, but this is technically thermogenic, right? I mean, we're not Dave.
I'm not Dave. I don't know.
Like we don't.
But,
never mind. I don't think so. I don't know.
I mean, I've heard octreotrin classified as a thermogenic before, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But
we'll ask Dave.
Yeah, we'll ask Dave.
We're like, we don't know, actually. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a product expert, so I don't want to tell all these 69 people the wrong answer. So, and they'll be like, Lisa said, okay, sorry. I froze. Did Dean freeze too? Did we both disappear? Because I don't see him either. Okay, well, that was fun. We both froze at the same time. I don't know how that happened. But anyhow, sorry, guys. He's coming back too. He texted me, okay, you're back too. I froze too. We both disappeared at the same time. We were both just gone. They were just stuck here without us. Like, what happened? Yeah.
Well, how's it been, guys?
What'd we miss? I was texting you and you were texting me.
Okay, I was like, I got dropped.
Yeah, me too. At the same time. So Wi-Fi is rough out here, okay?
Apparently in Utah as well.
Yeah, usually you have pretty good service.
Yeah.
What color is the V part of the capsule? Tru and V. Do you know, Dean? I haven't actually seen it.
So Tru, because it is Tru Fix, it's going to stick with that kind of blue hue, but it's going to be more of a blue purplish hue now. And then V is going to still be that orangish, is going to be an orangish hue. And so I'm going to blame this on COVID because it really was a COVID problem. But you guys, but your capsules will look really cool in about 3 months. So the first version of the capsules are generic capsules. In that, when I say generic, I just mean they're kind of like what we've always had. There's no branding on them or anything like that, but they're going to be a white and a color. So they're a two-tone, like orange and white or blue and white. But the actual intended look of these capsules was to actually be branded. So basically, like for example, the Tru will be blue on one side and then white on the other side. And on the white part in blue, it will say Tru. And then the V is going to be orange with the white, and then it'll say V. So they're actually branded capsules. It's really cool. The capsules actually are manufactured in, I think, South Korea. They get brought over. And so, yeah, it turns out those are still in South Korea.
Yeah, I'm glad we said that because I don't want people to get their first order and be like, this is not it. Like, I didn't want to.
Don't look like the pictures.
Doesn't look like it. They lied to me. Like, we don't want that. We don't want anyone unhappy. So, but it is COVID's fault. And speaking of COVID, I saw where Dana asked about probiotics. Last I heard was ideally, hopefully July-ish. I'm not sure direct.
Yeah, so I know, so as you guys know, we use manufacturing facilities all over the US. They're not all just here in Utah, depending on the type of manufacturing facility. You know, some are better with drinks. You know, the patch one is obviously completely different manufacturing facility. Some of the vitamins are manufactured in a different facility. The bulk of them are from the same manufacturer. However, the probiotics it's a specific type of manufacturing. And so the facility that we are using is was not open during the quarantine. And they are only still running at about 20%. And so we actually had our order in before quarantine hit for the next batch of them, because the idea was we keep them small batches because it keeps them fresher, something to do with probiotics. But it kind of backfired in a way because you guys, sold them out, and then COVID hit, and that manufacturing facility is down. We have been looking and trying to source another one of those types of manufacturers, even if it's not the same one. But all of them are backlogged. I know that, and I don't want to speak too much for Gabe because Gabe is our guy that oversees that, but I believe he has found another one that it's not like it's going to happen tomorrow, but he can at least get it on the schedule sooner than what our current one is doing. So we are trying to get those back on the shelves, but that is another COVID related back order.
Yeah, we're just going to blame like every problem we have for the next year on COVID. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do that.
Well, I had a call about a delivery of something, and everything's COVID related for everybody, really. I've decided it's like the ultimate excuse.
Yeah. I don't know if you know the answer to this question or not from Lacey. Are we still using natural things for colorants like red beet juice?
Do not know. Sorry, Lacey. Yeah. I see you. You're right next to Lisa. Is it product questions? I should know this. Product questions at TruV.
Yeah, TruV now. That's important.
And you can still use TruVisionHealth.com. And that actually leads into another thing. I know this isn't the exact next question, but about marketing materials, all of your Tru Vision Health domains and stuff like that should forward over fine. If they're not, obviously reach out to web at Tru Vision Health web at TruV now. But you shouldn't have any hiccup, even if someone found in 4 years finds something from 4 years ago, it should still work for you.
Yeah, that's important.
That was a big concern of ours, that we know that a lot of people have stuff already printed or you're using things. We wanted those to be able to make sure they still forwarded.
Erica, I would say if it says that on there, then you can. I mean, that's my assumption. What do you think, Dean? This may have been answered.
Absolutely.
But it says it's all natural ingredients. I mean, if that's what the company is saying, you're safe to use anything that you copy and paste directly off your website. That means it's been approved. That means corporate's seen it. That's always the safest best bet. When people ask you, what it is, using that product description right off the the front end of your website is totally acceptable. Anything, just copy, paste, exactly. And that should meet all approval standards because they put it there. So that's my assumption.
Yeah, and we have to go through Eric for everything. So you better believe if Eric said yes, then you're good.
Yes. Well, and then that kind of goes back to Dee's question. And again, this is a conversation the 5-Star and Ups had today, whatever day it was, I don't know. We are going to try to get some exact training from Eric, meaning the compliance department. When you hear us talking about Eric, that means he's the compliance department. So we're going to try to get some direct training from him to answer all of your questions because we don't know. We don't know or we would tell you. Our answer is like, yeah.
Let me throw some insight in there, Lisa, as to why we want to be a little stricter on this. And I would say probably 90% of you will be really excited about this and about 10% of you will not be happy about this. But as you know, with Tru Vision Health, with the name Tru Vision Health, we were very lenient in the early days with how you use it because we want to help you succeed. And, we want you to use our brand because you guys are an affiliate, essentially you're authorized retailer. There's a lot of terms that mean the same thing. But then as the years went on and we got bigger, we ran into some issues with, I'll say something like online advertising and just a lot of things that were kind of, I don't know the proper way to say this, but essentially misuse of the name. And it was actually hurting other associates in the process. And so because we were so lenient with the name, it ended up I guess backfiring is the right word because some people could use that for the wrong way to hurt other associates. And so one really good thing about the name change is we can be a lot stricter about it and we can come up with some stricter rules. And the reason we want to do that is not because we don't want you to be able to use things. It's because we want to prevent some of those same things from happening in the future. And so that's why I say about 90% of you will be excited about that. While you might not be able to exactly use what you were always able to use, it's really actually for everyone's protection. And Elisa can talk a little more about that, but I think she knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. Like I said, I hope, and I think explaining a little bit so people do understand that it's honestly to protect all of us, you guys, as independent associates, as well as the company. It's across the board the best decision. So I think like having you explain it a little bit is better understanding for people because they're like, I don't understand why. Well, I promise you there's a really good reason why. And this just kind of puts up the walls to put things into play and perspective and to protect the company and the name. So it's for the good, you guys. I promise. They're not trying to be crazy. And basically, some people ruin it. Like the kid that ruins it for everyone. That's kind of what happened, you guys. Like kind of what happened. Like they were lenient. You're the lenient parent, and then your older sibling like ruins it for you, and your parents are super strict on you. That's what's happened here, guys. That's what's happened.
That is exactly what happened.
Thank the bad kids. The bad kids did this, yeah.
But by us putting
okay, a couple of things. What did you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, I just said someone said hopefully crack down, and I said that by putting these rules in place, we can crack down easier on things like that. So
yes, true. Very true. So we talked a little bit about the linked redirects. We talked a little bit, does everyone know how to get in their back office now? I think this is really important. If not, you can write this down. This should be accessible for you somewhere. It's office, the number 2.truv. It's how you can get to your back office. There might be an easier way. I don't know, Dean, but that's how I get into mine.
David just posted in the Tru Biz group some better links. I'm going to go there too. And there's some more updates coming to the website this week and next week that will even make that. But once again, think of it like the Facebook page. Most people that are buying Truvi products are actually customers and not associates. And so we want to make them feel like they have the same experience that they would have going to Amazon or Best Buy or something like that, because those are the people that you're essentially marketing to, and those are the people that are you're selling to them. And so we're actually gearing things around them because they are the bulk of the company. But think about Amazon. You go log in, and then you would have a link to your back office in there if you were an associate. And if you're not, then you probably wouldn't see it. So that is a change that I know that's coming that will make that link a little bit easier to find. But your normal login on most retail sites is for the customers so they can see orders and stuff, and that's kind of where that will go. But there is an update coming where your link will be easier found, I guess is the word. I'm looking in the Tru Biz group because I know David just posted about that.
Okay, because I didn't see it. And then
But yeah, you can save. I would just bookmark that link.
Yeah, that's what I did. Again, it's office2.truby. That's what I use. And then for the Tru tools, I've heard a lot of questions about that. How do I find it? It's truvy.tools, where you go to build your little cart to send to your people. I love that. How amazing does that look, you guys? Like, who loves the new tools site? Come on, give some love, preach, clappy hands. We love that. And I love how we rolled out so many of the changes. So thank you. That was awesome.
So you guys are probably like, what are they doing? Well, we were working on 4 different sites and a bunch of updates for this week. So that's what. So this tools is totally revamped. And this as well, there are, I know, a few minor changes coming this week and next week. Some of which are just user interface, like continue buttons in a little easier, more prominent areas, things like that. And then on the desktop, there's something that's not as intuitive where you have to go to the cart. That'll be adjusted. So there's a few minor tweaks coming this week.
That's awesome. And I'm sure it's just going to get better. So you guys, again, Truby Biz Builder page to stay up to date. If there's nothing else, if there's no other group page you look at all day, every day, be involved in there. It's super important. Okay. So let's also talk about, this kind of gets down to the nitty gritty of, you guys make sure, we talked about this on our 5-star and up call today. And again, Dean, you weren't there, but the 1st does fall on a Monday. We're nearing the end of the month push already, believe it or not. The 25th, our biggest Smart Ship day is on Monday. Smart Ships will still go through on Monday. However, it is a holiday. We talked a little bit about shipping and USPS, the Postal Service is behind. I don't know if you guys have noticed. There's not a delay on corporate's end. There's not a delay on our products. However, there is a delay with the Postal Service. I'm sure most of you have noticed it if you use the Postal Service. COVID related. Blame it on COVID. And then obviously they don't deliver on Monday. So guys, just be aware. Sunday, Monday, there's not going to be any shipping. Monday is a holiday. And then we're into the last week of the month. And the first day of the month is June 1st. So you guys, that's a Monday. So we're coming on as early as you can for the end of the month, okay? You should be like running these reports. You should be taking care of business right now. Do not wait until the last day of the month and go to your ESR or go to your upline and have all these changes on June 1st because nothing is happening. The system is locked out on Sunday, the 31st. So have your business handled by then. We got this talking to from Gentry today. So we cannot help you get with your upline, customer service, your ESR rep, your closest upline that has an ESR rep, whatever that looks like. You need to be in contact with them, running those reports, your failed smart ships, whatever that looks like. We need to take care of that sooner than later. What else is on here?
Did he snap his fingers like this when he was telling you that, Lisa?
Camera on. Neither did I. We don't usually have our cameras on for that one. I don't know why. Dave's like, can y'all turn your cameras on? We're like, oh. So no, he didn't snap his hands, but he was very firm with us that nothing was happening after Sunday. So mind your P's and Q's and have your business ready. Also, so most of you know you can go ahead and order the product. However, they aren't shipping out yet, but will be by the end of the month. So I would assume they'll ship in the order that they were received. I don't know that, but that's what I would assume. Yes, so I would definitely go ahead and get those orders in. Okay.
It will go in the order it's received. If, for example, you know, this is another thing that we're just kind of playing year by year, and Gabe, once again, is in charge of this. He works with our manufacturers. Sometimes, for example, they'll give us the samples first or the experience kits first, or sometimes they'll give us the 60 days, just depends on how they pack them out. So depending on what he gets first, he'll just start shipping as, in the order he can as he can fulfill. So for example, if you were to get the experience kits, on the 28th, and let's say that was your order, he's going to ship it. So, or vice versa. So yes, it's in the order you receive it, but also the order he gets stock filled. And then by the 30th, he should have everything. Go ahead.
Right. Well, I also need to point this
Lisa's
out too
frozen,
before I
or I'm froze.
No, I'm frozen. I can hear you.
Oh, you're back.
Okay. The packaging. All the packaging is not going to roll out looking exactly the same, right? So let's talk a little bit about that. As we run out of stuff, we're going to have new packaging. So I just don't want people freaking out when they're like, this is the old Heart and Hydration packaging,
Yes, actually, exactly. So we are considering this, we are considering our transformation period from basically the 18th when we announced it until we're going to have a kickoff party at Summit. And so during that time, most of our products will have sold out and hadn't been reordered by that point. And what happens is once one product sells out, the new packaging gets printed. So you might get, I don't know what our stock levels are on everything. That's not something that I stay with day to day, but let's say grape runs out and you order grape and pink grapefruit, and one might be the new packaging, one might be the old. It's essentially you get the old until the new one, and the new one comes through. So.
Yeah, I just thought that was a good time to mention that. So go ahead and get those orders in. I had someone asking me about, finding new customers at this time. You guys, most of you have been in this business long enough to have customers that don't order anymore. So I would refer you all back to your back office, going through reports, looking at people that have ever placed an order. This is a great time to follow up with those people, okay? We're always looking for a reason to reach out and touch people and follow up and one more connection and one more talk and things like that. Now is it. Now is your time. You guys should be just blasting these messages about these new products, making it genuine, sending a nice note, an email, a Facebook message, whatever contact you have. You should be blasting the crap out of it right now, okay? I don't think you need to go find new customers in most cases. If you do, great. But you guys, I know most of you have been doing this a long time, and there are customers that are in your back office that aren't ordering anymore. I would start there. You already have an open field. You already have an open target. They're already right there. So start with those people before you get super stressed about trying to find new people. New people are always great. But in this case, go talk to those old people that are no longer ordering. They're no longer active. They're seeing this. They're seeing us talk about it. They're seeing the commotion. They're seeing all these things going on with True Vision. Now is a great time to get reconnected with your old contacts and your old customers. And Dean, what does an email campaign look like as far as that goes? Do you know, is anything going on with that? I'm not sure. That's kind of your department again, roughly.
Yeah, so we so some of your old customers we do try to recapture for you. We'll send emails out. We won't usually go back more than a year though. So when we send out emails, that's as far back as we'll reach out.
Okay.
But we have not sent emails yet. We've only, so far we've sent emails to all the current customers and text messages. And then next week we're looking into that. So.
Okay, perfect.
So you can reach out first.
Yeah. And I think it's great that corporate is.
Did we lose Elisa? So while she's froze, I'll just say this. When we reach back out to them, just so you know, we know exactly where in the tree they were. When they click back and they sign in, if they were to reorder, ours is obviously less of a personal touch, so our conversion rate is a lot lower than if you were to reach out to them. But when they do reorder, it does still get credited to you in your tree. So just so everyone knows. I like where Elisa's froze though right now. So yeah, but anytime we have a new product is the perfect time to reach out to your old group, because it's something new and interesting. And some people drop off for various reasons, and maybe they plateaued, or maybe they just got busy in their life or something, but it's always, something new gives you an opportunity to reach out to somebody and kind of talk to them about True Vision. Oh, well, I guess Truvy now. So even my sister, she texted me because she follows us, and she's like, wait, what happened? It's a new name. Are you guys not True Vision Health? And so that she even reached out to me, and I was like, well, let me tell you. And then I sent her that little video about us rebranding ourselves, and she was like, I love that video because with all the before and after. So yeah, Elisa just texted me. She's trying to get back on. So with that, while we're waiting for her, I'll use the time to talk about Summit. So like I said, it's a transformation. We're considering this by the time Summit starts. We figure almost the majority of the major products will have new packaging by that point. And so the majority of the products will have a new packaging by that point. So that's what we're going to actually have a kickoff party. We're counting that as our kickoff party. This year's Summit, I mean, every Summit is cool. A lot of you guys have been to them. We always have a fun time. I think we always, as we're planning it, we get excited. We're like, this is going to be the best one ever. And this one will be the best one ever. But it's because, we always think of new things and it gets more exciting and more people come. But I can tell you, we've been in a lot of planning sessions with this, obviously concurrently with the Truvy rebrand and planning the party. And because we knew we were doing the rebrand, it kind of added a little bit of excitement into things that we can do for this Summit. That we, you just don't normally get to do. And so I think that aspect alone will make this really fun. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if we posted pictures, but we want to go along with the theme of like a family reunion, because one thing about the rebrand that we were thinking is whether or not we're called Truvy or True Vision Health or whatever we are, it's still a combination of our products and the people that make up the company. And I think what Truvy and AKA True Vision Health had is, an outstanding group of customers, associates, corporate. Overall, most people get along. Obviously, there's little things here and there, but, everyone really does care a lot about everybody else and their success. And I think that's what makes us special. And so that's why for Summit, we wanted to do kind of like that family reunion vibe with the new name. So that's kind of how it's going to work out.
Super excited. I think it's not too late to get your tickets. So if you don't have tickets, come. I promise you, this will change your business. I promise. It will change how you see things. It'll change like your total perspective. I don't know why my Wi-Fi is so bad tonight, like worse than usual. I don't know what's happening. It's not raining or anything. I'm sorry. But I encourage you guys, if there's nothing else you do for your business, coming to Summit can and will change your business and how you do it and how you see it and how you see the company. So I'm super excited. I'm always excited for Summit, but I'm even more excited this year. And Derek did say, and I quote, we should have a rough itinerary by the end of the week, is what he told us today, Dean.
That is correct.
You can back that up. I'm not sure, but that is what today, because you weren't in the room. So
oh, I wasn't in the room. We already have the rough itinerary, so it's just a matter of getting it posted on the website. So we already know what's happening. So now it's time. We didn't want to post it until after obviously we announced, because you'd be like, what's the kickoff, rebrand party? I don't remember what we have it named on the sheet, but obviously that would give too much away. So we're kind of waiting.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right, well, let's go ahead and take some questions. We have about 15 minutes left. So if you have a question for me, myself, if you have a question for Dean, just drop it in the chat. Where do we buy our Summit tickets? I think they're still in your back office. Okay, they're still in your back office.
And I'm pulling up the Summit dates because I actually don't know them off the top of my head. If on the new Truvy site and the bottom footer, you'll find a lot of like the links about True Transformation, stuff like True Ascent, stuff like that. So it looks like
7th and 8th, I think.
Yep, 6th, 7th, and 8th, August 6th, 7th, and 8th in Atlanta.
What is the best advice for Summit? Bring notebook, paper, and pen. Yeah, for sure. And comfortable shoes. Okay, let's be honest, because just trust me, you want comfortable shoes. And a jacket, probably, because the room will be cold. So that's important. And and come like ready to mingle. Like set it as your intention to go meet new people. Like these are your family. Yeah, bring money for swag. There you go. And I think you can even charge that to your back office, your credit card on file. So you can charge that. You can charge that stuff. But we will, I think, have some really swag. That's word on the street. I don't know.
So a lot of people have been asking about swag. There is a debate on whether we, throw you guys a little bit of an appetizer in the next 2 months, which like just a branded shirt or something like that. But we have a lot of cool swag. Usually it's just shirts and stuff, but there's some pretty cool items for this one because this one is a kickoff party. And so there's some very unique items that are obviously just one-time runs, but they're truly related that will be at Summit. And I would also echo what Elisa said. If you don't do anything, just be ready to just try, even if you're not a social person, just make a goal that while you're there, you're going to make your obviously maybe you need to be obnoxious. I don't know, but just go out and meet people. People want to meet you. And a lot of people in the room are probably just maybe shy as well. But if you just reach out and meet people, you will meet people from all over the US, sometimes the world, depending on who makes it out there, that can become lifetime friends of yours. So
yeah, I'm super excited for that. That's a great part to mingle. And I think someone else had a really good point. Come prepared for humidity and heat. Welcome to the South in August. It's going to be like the pits of hell outside, you guys. So go ahead and be prepared. Luckily, we'll be inside most of the time, but it's going to be some kind of hot in Atlanta in August. Okay. There we go. Someone pointed that out. So any other questions that anyone has? Like I said, for Dean, myself, maybe needs to point.
I saw one. It was about Club 90, and the answer is yes. It's still slotted to go in. I think it's July. So those of you that had won that already, it is still going. So
awesome. All right. Anything else? And anything else you can think of, Dean, that I didn't cover? I have my notes. At Summit, reach out to customers, True Biz Builder page. I think I covered everything I needed to cover.
Yeah, so nothing crazy happening here, just a rebrand.
Nothing major this week here at True V.
Yep.
Someone put, important, is the True Fix and Combo still available? Yes, it is. It's available to current customers. It's available to customers you sign up today. That product is not going away yet. If and when it does go away, corporate will let you know. You will have plenty of advice. Let's talk a little bit about, because I know people are going to talk about this.
No. Let's talk about Matt just walking around ripped in the background.
That's our refrigerator. So he's like, I had to get some milk for school.
There you go, Matt.
That boy gotta eat. That boy needs a snack. Okay. So that price. Let's talk a little bit about the price point on the new products, because we did address that, and we're gonna have to let's just take care of that now.
Let's jump in that. And Stephanie had a question. Is V comparable to Gen 1? Yes and no. Yes, in that you're gonna feel I feel like for me, I feel it more than I feel True Control. So in that regard, you do, because Gen 1 was very potent. But as far as type of ingredient, it's completely different. Because Gen 1, it was, what was it called? It was another variation of what is Octatrine, which is what's in True Control. This is completely different in that regards, but I think a lot of people that have tried it have said they felt it a lot more potent like they did when they were on Gen 1. Would you say that's fair, Lisa?
Yeah, I've seen people on Facebook, do not say this is Gen 1 formula. Do not, I wouldn't go so far as to compare it like that, because it's not similar ingredient. It's not. I mean, I think it's how you feel maybe, but not as far as ingredients go. So I would be really careful using that comparison, if that makes sense. Wouldn't you? Because it's not the same.
Mixed.
You could feel the same.
I've heard people that have taken it say that, but at the same time, because it is different, it's a hard one. It's, you want to, because some people that had Gen 1 might expect it to be exactly the same, and I wouldn't say it would be exactly the same, other than you're also going to feel it a lot. And then Dragonfly, asks, will caffeine interfere with V? That's a tricky one too, because that kind of depends on you. Caffeine is a stimulant, and Ralston, which is in V, is a stimulant. So it probably very similar to how True Control and caffeine would work. For some people, your body, because you probably drink so much caffeine, that it doesn't affect it. Some people that are very, like my mother, for example, is very sensitive to caffeine. And so she would never in her right mind take True Control and caffeine on the same day. You know what I mean? So it is, that's a tricky one. Just depends on what your caffeine tolerance is.
I think the answer is like have them start out. This is an associate answer, a fellow distributor. My answer would be have them start out with one. You do not need to take both doses. Like have your customers start out with one. We tell people 2 pills 2 times a day. Have them start with one and see how they feel. That's my recommendation. You don't have to have that second dose until maybe your body gets used to it a little bit more. So if that second dose is bothering you and it's too much stimulant, they don't have to take that right away. We can ease into that.
Right. So that would be same answer for Terry. I mean, if you're drinking coffee all day, if True Control still helps you because it's a different type of stimulant, I would assume V would do the same. But once again, like Stephanie said, get the 7-day experience and kind of play around with it for yourself, because that is, everyone's a little different.
Yeah, I can drink. I mean, I could take my second dose as late as the afternoon. I'm not caffeine sensitive at all. So it doesn't bother me, but everyone is different.
Right.
Right that's now, a good one, Dean.
Yeah, right now it's just the capsules. Right now, just the capsules. In fact, actually, we led with the capsules because even in the True Control and the True Fix combo, capsules is quite a bit more popular, not just a little bit, but quite a bit more popular than the drinks. And so for the same reason, we're doing that with True and V. So it just kind of depends on everyone's feedback as to when and if that will ever happen. Personally, I'm a mixed bag. I don't know how you are, everyone else is, Elisa, but I tend to like the capsules as well. And then I'll mix in the drink packets, but I don't do all drink packets. But I know some people really do like just the drinks. So, but based on how sales go, that's why we chose to start with capsules.
Yeah, my customers definitely have a better success rate with the pills because I think they're more consistent with it. I think it's easier, not necessarily that the drinks don't work. I don't think that. I think the pill is just easier. It's easier. You don't have to mix it. I mean, simplicity wins here, guys. I mean, in my opinion. Oh, yeah.
And drinks are technically a little, the manufacturing process with drinks, in its nature, they'll always be a little more expensive than a capsule. So capsules, A, is your cost leader, and B, like Elisa said, it's just simpler and easier to be consistent. Because I think drinks, the way that you take them, they are actually quicker to respond in your body. But if you're not consistent with it, does it matter? You know what I mean? So it's like if you're more consistent with capsules, obviously that's the better route. Just depend. That's once again, it's going to depend on the person. But True Fix and True Control drink are still available. So those of you that prefer the drinks, those are still being sold.
Even Reform, I have people that still use Reform. That's a liquid option as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. So, and then other Elisa asked, will be a combo pack of the new formula? Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure corporate will be adding more packages, right, Dean? We're just starting simple, basic before we get all like crazy.
Yeah,
that's
yes, we do. We want to. Yes, simple answer, yes. Coming down the road, you can always add to that. I mean, with the new cart, hopefully it's a lot easier for you to add if you want something like that. And then obviously if you put it on subscribe, you can get the discount from it. So
no, we're not getting rid of True Control anytime soon, Katie. Like, I don't know if ever, but definitely not anytime soon.
Yeah, there's no plans to get rid of it at the moment.
Nope. All right. Any other questions? We have about 3 minutes left, and I appreciate Dean hopping on. If you all haven't had the opportunity to meet Dean, you will. You will know who Dean is at the end of this. He is. Yes, that's his time to shine. You'll know Dean at Summit, I promise. If you're new to this company, You will learn and know who Dean is. So Dean's been with us for a while now. He's running our marketing department, and now he has ownership in the company. So he's a gem. He's good to us. I don't think I've ever met anyone that doesn't like Dean. So make sure if you run into him at Summit, he will talk to you. If he's not busy talking to someone else, he will talk to you if you need someone to talk to. It doesn't matter. He will talk to you. It's so true. It just never stops. I know focus is back on weight loss and any plans in eating snacks or vitamins.
No, not at the moment either. Obviously, a lot of these things depend on sales. Like, is it worth keeping the product? But with the vitamins are selling well, and to my knowledge, so are the snacks. So I wouldn't expect to see them go away. I know some things, like for example, the cotton candy is difficult to ship, and so sometimes that we take that into account. And there has been discussion on that one potentially, but as of right now, it's still available. The problem is when we get into the summer months and it's getting shipped, it just shrivels up in the packaging. So things like that can affect it. I know with the crafted spices and the oils, we just there was some discussion on some of the ones that weren't selling to keep or to get rid of them. We decided to keep them. We found ways to manufacture them a little cheaper, so those prices actually went down, which is cool. And so we're just kind of monitoring that as well. A lot of those types of products are supplementary to your main one, which is weight loss. So that is correct. So we don't expect them to be as high in sales as your other products. So they have a little bit of a different how we decide if they're keeping or going away. But right now, no products to my knowledge are going away. What's there right now is at least there for the foreseeable future, unless there are any major changes in sales and etc. If that makes sense.
You'll get a heads up if something's going to happen. So, here's a good one. Any chance for all H&H flavors in tubes, not just grape? That's a you question.
Any chance for all? Yeah, so there's been some interesting discussion on H&H, not to get rid of it, but maybe to like do some testing on potentially new flavors. That's a ways out because obviously Truvi was a kind of a major focus. But one thing that we've discussed, and this is once again, this is just us chatting as friends because this is not confirmed. Do not take this as like this is happening. But a couple years ago at Summit, we did the taste test thing, Elisa, and a few of you that were there. So I would like to try to do that because Heart and Hydration is actually one of our top sellers, and there's really not a clear standout actually grape is the clear standout as far as the sales go, which is why there's a tub available. But the other ones actually are about the same. And so I personally want to get some more flavors or mix it up. So I'm really pushing for that. It's not confirmed. Maybe send in some feedback and then you can help me out in my little, quest to get that to happen. But a lot of that is based off of your feedback. And so it's not something, like I said, that's for sure going to happen, but I would like to at least get the ball rolling, even if it's not flavors. I'd like to get feedback from people at Summit on that. So what do you think, Elisa?
I'm a watermelon fan. Like this is huge, like a huge debate, and watermelon is way better than grape.
No. I'm gonna rank them for you guys. This is the official ranking. This is no longer between friends. This is my official ranking. Pink grapefruit, easily the best flavor. Then followed by grape. Then followed by probably watermelon. I don't love original.
Okay, mine is watermelon, then pink grapefruit. I agree. It's in my top two. Then probably original, and then probably grape. Like grape is just too sweet for me. I don't know. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. So I think most will agree with me. Watermelon first.
So just to give you an idea how this product, how that works, because I don't want to, I'm afraid that I might maybe have given people too high hopes here, because I'm just saying this is a discussion that I've been having with Dave and the other guys. I don't know if you remember, Derek posted in the Facebook group a while ago. He asked what your favorite flavor of Heart and Hydration was, and then asked for suggestions. So then what happens is then we go to our manufacturer and we say, hey, we were interested in doing something like this. We don't tell them it's for sure, you know, we just say, we just want to play around with the idea. And so what happened a couple of years ago is they brought us like 10 different flavors. And they were like, these are popular, these do well in testing, you know, go test them out on your group. And so we're literally in the phase where it's an idea that Derek and I have been throwing around, and we're talking about it with other people. So we are way in the beginning phases of that. So hopefully that sets the proper expectation.
Yeah, no one gets crazy. Yeah,
So-
no one gets super crazy. And by the way, I'm pretty sure watermelon is still winning with the people. That.
It's
But
sweet
anyhow,
for me, and I like sweet.
it's not as sweet as grape. Grape is sweeter than watermelon.
Lost
I don't-
Elisa again. There you're
I
back.
can hear. Yeah, no, grape is sweeter than watermelon. But anyhow, I want to thank you for tonight hopping on. I asked him very last minute to hop on and join us, and such a smooth transition launch that we had was amazing.
And we have more to come, guys.
So thank you to you and all of our corporate.
And
Yeah,
thank you,
I'm
guys.
excited. I'm excited, and thank you for a smooth.
I mean, it was really a gamble. We all loved it, but we were like, we think everyone else is going to love it. We hope they love it as much as we love it. But I mean, obviously, we knew not 100% of people were going to instantly attach to it. But I think overall, we've had a very, very positive. I think a lot of people love it. We've already seen cool graphics from you guys on how you're posting. That you've given us some ideas, so it's really exciting. And I think I think the name Truvi is something we can take to the next level. I think it's a very modern and exciting brand. So I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, so thank you. Thanks to everyone that made this launch possible, the great info, content, the videos, the website, all the things. So thank you for your hard work, and we appreciate you. So y'all have a great night, and thanks for joining us tonight. Bye, guys.